I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
Come on!
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media. Cannabis is how we power this show up every single day. The internet doesn't work until I blow some cannabis right into the inner workings of this computer that I have right here. And that's what fires us up. It's cannabis. Ellen DeGeneres says she had multiple weed drinks before rushing wife Portia to the hospital. They were weed-infused beverages at what turns out to be the entirely wrong time. She counted the night she drank 3 THC and CBD-infused drinks right before she learned that she needed to drive her wife to the hospital for an appendectomy. So she says that I did that, and I was able to. I guess I don't recommend it, but I don't think you can hurt yourself.
I feel like you should call an Uber.
I don't think weed and drinking is. Weed and driving is not a big deal. I don't think.
Well, it's still illegal.
Chris,
it's still driving under the influence. But I mean, honestly, the only risk that you're running is she'll die in the middle of the drive, because you're going top speed 20, 25, like, and you feel like you're flying. You're like, oh my God, I'm getting you there as fast as I can. I'm so Jesus. I mean, roll down the window. Can't you feel the wind in your face? This is me flying.
When did the sun come out?
Your left turn signal's on all the way there.
You could probably call the ambulance too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
People, fix your microphone. Teebs of Adrian.
Like, wouldn't it be hard though? I mean, you're Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. You call for an ambulance. You got to do like 3 minutes of material before somebody even believes it's you. Like you can't just go, "Hi, this is Ellen DeGeneres, and I need an ambulance."
Sure
and they're like, "Yeah, sure it is, Ellen. Ellen."
I'm gonna call the police. Okay, Ellen. Yeah, okay. Stop playing on this phone. We have people with real emergencies.
I'm trying to order my shit from Teebs.
Let's do this thing.
Come on!
And now, our feature presentation.
This is Ed McMahon. And now, here's Andrew.
Andrew Z! How about that Andrew Z? I said Andrew Z! In the morning, it's time to wake up. Andrew Z! In the morning, yeah. Come on!
Good morning, everybody. Tuesday, April 27, 2021, the year of our Lord, Demetrius Nicodemus. Eastside Outside Gina from Gabella Media. Chris, Ebenezer, Bushrod, Tiefel, Ashley P. And of course, our producer Georgia. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's going to be 80.
Andrew Z in the morning.
Woo! 80 degrees today. Man, I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. We go from 50 or 40 or 30, whatever the hell it was 2 days ago, and it's going to be 80 today. So there you go. Welcome to Ohio, right? That's what they say. That's what they all say. You know what, Ohio, you don't like the weather, just hang around 24 hours and it's gonna
Just wait 5 minutes and it'll change.
And I think I
can't
saw
believe you said 24 hours. Like literally the time it takes for weather to change.
That's true. A new day. I do have to say, I think what the hell was I going to say? It was something about that. The weather, 80, 50, 40.
Man that gets paid for his words, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. I know they say. I think it's a full moon too, because
it is. It's been horrible. Oh,
that's
listen,
what
I was acting like a complete psycho on Sunday night, and I was like, I just want to jump out of my skin. Like that's how psycho I was feeling at the time.
Wow.
I don't know if anyone's ever felt that way, but it's a really weird feeling.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, like my whole family's just staring at me like, what is going on here? What is she about to turn into? Like I was about to transform into like
Werewolf.
crazy. And I was like, it must be a full moon. And then I like read the next morning that it's this pink moon or whatever. I'm like, oh, it makes perfect sense. Now I feel better.
Did you really? Like that was your guess? You're like, it has to be a full moon.
Yes,
and then it was
every
a full
single time. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wait,
Is that-
how
can I
often
just say-
does this happen?
But you
It
say
is.
you just said every single time. Like every time something that's your guess.
No,
every single time. Eventually, you're gonna be right. You know.
No, she's saying every
No,
time
I mean
there's a
every
full
single time I feel like that crazy, like there's different levels of crazy, okay? We all know that.
moon.
When I say I want to jump out of my skin, that's not the normal crazy. That feels like very elevated. So
hyper crazy.
yeah.
Gotcha. That's
And
so
it was a
great.
pink moon in addition.
But-
so.
By the way, congratulations. Ashley sold her first house.
Yay!
How excited, dude. That was quick.
I know. I sold it in one day.
Wow.
I mean,
guess-
Yeah,
guess-
she picked the best time to be a realtor.
I know.
Right?
if you're like from the opinion of all of the people that have been doing this for a long time, I picked the worst time to become a realtor. So.
Why?
Really, that's the craziest thing. People are dying to buy houses
Well,
right
people
now.
are dying to buy houses, but no one's selling their houses. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a very big imbalance of like and that's how realtors make their money is listing houses, not usually.
But
I mean, you make money when you bring a buyer to a seller, but it's more
Yeah.
when you're listing. So,
So, but my question is like, as a realtor, your job isn't to convince people to sell their homes, right, against their will. Your job
Oh,
is
no,
to
not
just
against their
represent,
will.
yeah, right. So your job is to represent people who are willing to sell their homes.
yeah,
There
which is
just
not a lot of
happens to
people.
be, yeah. So right now there's more realtors than there are sellers, and so everybody's jockeying for that house.
But
Probably,
I think this is a great time for hypnotists, though, because I think they should market themselves to the realty world. Because if you walk up at the knock on the door as a realtor and you have a hypnotist with you, it's like, you want to sell your house? You want to sell your house? And you're like, I want to sell my house.
Hypnotism isn't the force.
What? It kind of is, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if
It
that's
makes
your
you-
thing.
makes-
Then
it
more
makes
power
you-
to you.
makes you lose weight, makes you quit smoking, makes you sell your house, whatever they need them to do.
You should hook up with those people that put those janky signs at the intersections of like, "Hey, we buy homes."
Yes.
I know. I like often wonder about those. Like, I wonder if
know.
I call those numbers. Like, could I get a cut?
Right?
Can I participate?
I assume that if I were to call the number, it'd be the same result as if I were to call the number on the bathroom stall for a good time. It would not be a good time.
Or
How do you know? Have you ever tried?
maybe
No comment.
Maybe you've missed out on like 30 years of good times right now.
Yeah.
How horrible is that to think of?
I just feel like that number thing on the bathroom stall is a lot like the mullet. It worked once, and so now everybody's like, I know one guy it worked for, and they just want to.
We all live on. I
They've
don't know.
been married 20 years.
We all live on this country now. I don't know if it's a new thing. We all live on the exception. Well, there was this one. You're not going to get bit by alligators. Well, there was this one I saw on the news where this alligator actually went into someone's house and pulled them right out of their bed. So I'm not going to Florida. What?
Yeah.
So weird.
They're dinosaurs. Why would you want to?
They are dinosaurs.
They are really. They are. I think they look just like a dinosaur.
They do.
They're terrifying too.
All right. Speaking of Florida, all right. I have the first thing. If you had $25,000 and could go anywhere, you have to leave right now. Where would this is a thing I saw on Facebook? Where would you go?
If we had what $25,000 to go anywhere,
Someone's giving you $25,000 to go anywhere. You had to pack your bags and leave right now. Where would you go?
Walmart.
No,
I'm going shopping.
I don't think you could take 24,990. Just put 10 in the tank and take the rest to Walmart. I think you have to actually leave somewhere.
Oh, dang. All right.
She doesn't go on planes, so she's kind of stuck in either
be
North
fine.
America to South America.
If we give her a few Valium, she's tiny. We give her a few Valium, throw her over our shoulders, take her wherever she'll be fine.
Yeah.
She'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
She's not B.A. Baracus. We can't trick her with a glass of milk.
And
No,
Donnie,
it's not like we're gonna pretend. We're gonna drug her on. We're gonna tell her what we're doing.
Yeah.
Donnie said that she's actually been on a plane. This is all fake. That she has been on a plane before.
I've been on plenty of planes, but it is not fake. I assure you.
Well, no,
I hated every single moment of it. I mean,
I didn't mean fake. I didn't mean fake as you'd never been. I meant fake as in I assumed that because you were so scared that you'd never been on a plane. And he's
oh no, I've been on. That's what makes me so scared. I know what happens.
Yeah, it's like me in exercise.
Nothing. You get to where you're going with a couple bumps in between. It's not. I mean, you know what happens.
You guys, my armpits are sweating right now. As you said, airplane. It's like I have just like this reaction to just thinking about airplanes. Donnie had to go drop off a rental car yesterday at the airport. And as soon as I hit my turn signal to turn in there, my palms start sweating. I get like hyper.
Your knees got weak. You said,
Yeah.
Dave? No.
you craved mom's spaghetti?
I was freaking out. I'm like, I'm so grateful that I don't have to get on an airplane right now, but this is like still kind of scary. I don't know. Unless you are afraid of airplanes, then you just don't get it.
Don't get it, right? You don't get it. So people are saying Hawaii, Europe. See, for me, and I knew right away where I wanted to go, and it was Tahiti, the Tahitian Islands, which is actually more beautiful than Hawaii, which is crazy. But I've always wanted to go. Like when you see the stuff on Facebook where there's like huts on top of water and what like with ramps. I think that's always Tahiti. And I would love to go. That's my spot. Tahiti is my jam. I've always wanted to go. What? Where there's like tiki, what are those guys that those giant people?
What?
They're
Totem poles?
Tiki torches.
Tiki? No, those are tiki torches.
Those are fire.
Those are fire.
I always wanted to go see a tiki torch.
What are idols? Are they called
You
idols? What are they called?
What?
The
Totem poles.
Totem poles.
No, they're big like rocks, like just all over
Easter Island. You're talking about the giant heads on Easter Island.
Sure, I guess it doesn't sound right, but yes.
What about Turks and Caicos? Like I keep seeing videos of that, and that the waters look really clear and pretty.
Yeah.
That sounds like an
nice.
entree. I can't. It sounds like tour of Italy. Like, I just can't
you go to Olive Garden, order. You're gonna have
Turks and Caicos.
I'll have the Turks and Caicos.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm gonna need 4 more breadsticks than you usually bring to my table. I'm gonna need the order of Turks and Caicos and 4 more breadsticks, and don't try to chip me down on the black olives.
Yeah, exactly. And I want some zuppa toscana. Forget that. See, what I do is, you get soup or salad. I make everyone else order salad. I get the soup. So then I get soup and salad because it's all you can eat. So I just take some of their salad. It's the way
you really trick them, Andrew.
I do. See,
I never thought of that.
I know.
Wait. So you're gonna take somebody else's salad?
Yes.
It's endless salad.
If we're talking, if we're
it's
talking
bottomless
Olive Garden,
salad.
it's a giant bowl, and they just keep refilling it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
So, and actually, the best part is I eat my zuppa
I don't eat at the
toscana.
fancy places.
Olive Garden.
Listen, I don't think Olive Garden's really considered fancy, but we love it, and it is fancy to us. But I don't think the general population would call it fancy.
I don't know.
Sorry, when I see the previous table's entree on my server's shirt, I'm probably not gonna go. Dude, this is a nice joint.
You guys, their food is so good, though. Like you just have to admit that their food is really good.
They have a needle deposit in the bathroom. That gives me pause.
That's for
diabetics, but okay.
I'm sure it is, but it's still.
I'm sure heroin addicts make that distinction. They come in. Well, no, this is just for the diabetics. We don't want to fuck this up.
Needle there.
We don't
My
want
needle goes in the regular trash.
I can
So
wake
many
up
heroin
with
addicts
type 2
sitting in
diabetes.
So many heroin addicts choosing to spend their money at Olive Garden instead of.
We are in an opioid crisis. Come on.
My biggest bitch with Olive Garden is if you order the all you can eat pasta, is the regular bowl is a regular size, and then they trick you by bringing you like a $50 size bowls. Like they'll bring you 10 of them, but then you have to order more of. Like at some point, you're like, okay, I'm ordering too many bowls because they're only this. They're this big. They're little tiny.
Because they know that not. Wow.
What?
I cannot even finish a regular size bowl. So I don't, when I order that.
Shut your face. Shut your face.
So I think that they're thinking they're trying to not be wasteful. So if you have the whole bowl and you would like the additional bowl, then they'll give you another one if you finish your second bowl.
God bless you, Andrew.
Josh, I do that
the
anyway.
Benefit of the doubt. You know what this is, Andrew? It's their way of shaming you.
I know.
If your server's got to make 20 trips for 20 refills of pasta, somebody's going to be like, dude, that guy has had like 20 bowls of pasta. And you get to the point where you start thinking, you're like, 5, that's a lot. I can't.
I know.
He's walking my table
what you do is you look your server in your eye when they bring you one of those little bowls as part of your never-ending pasta, and you go, you know what? You have 2 hands. Just bring me 2 bowls at a time. just boom.
Or keep the big bowl.
I think it's against the law. Go ahead,
or just keep the big bowl and just start dumping the little bowls in it. Like,
yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Josh says, I go to Olive Garden when they ask if I wanted grated cheese. I waited an obnoxiously long time before I tell them to stop.
Yes.
Dude, that's a very uncomfortable power position to have, because you're like, tell me when to stop, and you're just like, okay.
I tell them to stop so quickly because I feel so embarrassed for them. It's like watching them put on a show. Like, okay, that's good.
I know. See, and that's how my oldest daughter is too. Like, she hates people going out of their way. So even though she loves Parmesan, so I'll get extra Parmesan and just toss it on her plate for her because she doesn't want it.
Yeah, I do the same thing as Josh, and I'll just let them keep going on there. It kind of messes with you if you're messing with if you do it enough times. It messes with you because I now have one of the cheese graters like at Olive Garden at home. And
where'd you get that?
On Amazon. In my head though, now I can't tell myself to stop because it's so ingrained in me to not stop. I end up getting the end of the block.
Donnie and Ashley are gonna play Olive Garden server and customer now.
Oh,
that
sounds lovely.
Can you just imagine, like, you bring like somebody that you meet from a third world country, and the first place you take them to is Olive Garden, and you're like, wait, watch this. And they go, tell me when to stop grating more food on your food. And you're just like, no. Just watch it. And they're like,
might as well offer backup.
This country, it just you put more food on food, and then until somebody tells you to stop. Surely this is heaven. Oh my Jesus!
I remember my friend. Joe Damaso, and his wife Megan is from England. And so his dad came over from England to visit, or no, her parents came over from England to visit. And I was interviewing her dad, and I'm like, what's different about the U.S. versus England? He goes, you guys love your sauces. He goes, you put sauces on sauces.
Yes.
So true.
Sauces are
from England?
Yes.
That's what that accent was.
You put sauces on sauces.
Like, you'll do a British accent for other things, and then you're talking about a person from actual Europe, Britain, and you're like, okay, I can't.
They put sauces on sauces.
It's a multicultural island, Gina.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, Gina he was from the Wales area.
Yeah, first of all, it's hard to get mad at this show for saying stuff that may be offensive because it comes from no country known to man.
Exactly.
Yeah, where we're from, no one exists.
Yeah, no one sounds like any of the accents that we make. So shut up.
Yeah.
Look, I tell the server right up front. I said, by the time you're done with me, I'm going to give you carpal tunnel. I tell her right away when she's grating the cheese, so she knows.
Is that what you told Colleen too?
It was part of his proposal.
Maybe you will have carpal tunnel by the time we're done.
You were gonna look like a G.I. Joe with kung fu grip by the time this marriage is complete.
Tell me when you're done talking about this.
No wonder Colleen couldn't say no to you. What a pickup line.
Absolutely. Okay. So anyway, I think we were I don't know, we went from where we're gonna go to Olive Garden, but I don't think everyone's answered. I know
where I would go.
Where?
New York City. I know that's so lame, but I love New York City, and it's expensive as shit to stay there. So $25,000 would probably get you a week.
A couple days.
So,
all right,
that'd be fun.
Go ahead, D. Where would you go?
Wichita, Kansas, and live like a mob boss.
Yeah,
that's for like 3 weeks. I would pay a couple of people to follow me around. I would wear nice suits. And then occasionally nod and point at people and watch them run out of restaurants. That's what I would do with $25,000. I would scare the shit out of Wichita, Kansas.
It's funny. My thoughts are like if you want to be famo, you really only need one hit. Here's the issue: is if you have one hit and then you stay in Hollywood, you're going to drain all your money because it's so expensive. You got to have $1 million home and you got to have assistants and all that. I just have one hit. I just want one hit song, one hit movie, one hit anything. Then you move to Wichita, Kansas, and you never have to worry about it again because the money is not the same in Wichita as it is in LA. Like you get paid $5 million for a movie. $5 million in Wichita. You'll live like a king. So you just have to have one hit, and then you got to move though. You got to get out of there. Yeah. You can't keep every time you're looking for the next hit, you're draining your money that you got. So you just make it and you go, and then every time someone watches it on Netflix, you're still getting checks from that same movie, and the check's $300, but in Wichita it's like $3,000, and you're good. That's what. Yeah, that's
like honestly. You should literally be able to gauge how famous somebody is by the next city that they move to. It should be like a tiered system. Like if you have one hit, it's Wichita. If you put out 3, then okay, maybe we'll look at moving you to Minneapolis, right? And then boom, and your goal is to get to LA, to have enough income to sustain an LA lifestyle, but you're a Minneapolis celebrity. Living a Minneapolis lifestyle, but I'm working towards LA.
Well, here's the other thing too: is if you move to Minneapolis, then they love you, and you could get a statue in Minneapolis or something. You get to get a street named after you. It's not going to happen in LA where you've had John Wayne and Tom Cruise, and like it's not going to happen in LA. But you go to Wichita, Kansas. Like okay, for instance, I'm driving to Trader's World. Yes, Sunday.
We're gonna start talking about the bees again, aren't we?
And we drove through Wapakoneta, which was the home of John Glenn, I think. But it says it's called First on the Moon, Wapakoneta. Like that's part of the name now. Like on the sign, that's what it says, First on the Moon. And you got to think, I told Colleen, I'm like, look, John Glenn, I mean, out of billions of people that have been born on this planet, he's the first guy to ever step his size 12 onto the moon. I mean, that's standing out. That's being something. That's like something no one else could ever claim again, no matter Russian.
Except like Neil Armstrong.
Whatever. Anyway, one of them's from Wapakoneta, and one of them was the first on the moon. So whichever one that was. My point is, if John Glenn lived in LA, he would just be another dude. Like he would. It's John Glenn, but hey, here's Regis Philbin. So John Glenn, I don't know.
Yeah, but one of them walked on the moon.
But then, I mean,
you still get stopped billing.
Good.
Like even that little saying on your sign could work against you. If I stop at Wapakoneta and all the people are assholes, and then I'm like, Jesus, no wonder this guy wanted to go to the moon. Like honestly, he hated you so much he left this planet. Wapakoneta.
Well, I was thinking the same kind of along the same lines of like if you're a giant asshole, then maybe LA would be the better place for you. Like you don't want to go to a small town because then you're just going to stick out like a sore thumb. Like maybe a bigger city would be for you, so no one just notices you.
But if
you just blend right in.
But if you're a celebrity that's chasing fame, you really want to be noticed. You don't want to just blend in. I mean, that's kind of your thing. That's what you've been striving for your whole life. And by the way, Donnie P says WAPA is the home of Neil Armstrong. I don't know what
that's what I thought too. I was like, I've driven by that place so many times. I think it's Neil Armstrong.
WAPA would have been really stupid to put first on the moon for John Glenn. That would have been a very big clerical error.
Didn't he go to the moon too?
First one who thought of going to the moon. They left some words out.
I don't know, my history.
Nobody ever had to think about like fact checking this shit until Google came out. It was signs hometown signs could write anything on them before Google. Like home of the first talking butthole, and you're like, well, okay, we're just gonna take your word for it.
Yep.
Jim Carrey's hometown.
Nice. Okay, so check this out. Speaking of the moon, so Elon Musk, you know how he's
I can't figure out, are we supposed to hate him or like him now?
I know he's so on the face, like people love him, and then you're like, oh, it's like Amazon. Do you want to love it or hate it? Like everyone wants to talk shit about Amazon, but it's employing your whole town, and you like the packages coming. So Amazon, Elon Musk, these are these things that you should hate, but you love. It's a weird.
Why
thing.
do we hate Elon Musk?
What
happened?
He's just an asshole.
Because he's rich. I mean, I feel like people just hate him because he's loaded. So let's think of a new reason to hate him. What's going on?
He's like he's like a real life Tony Stark.
Yes, yeah. Arrogant.
He is a real life Tony Stark.
Yeah. Well, what I think is like he's like a billionaire, and he's a billionaire. He lives the billionaire lifestyle, but then he tries and way too hard to be a regular person.
Yes.
Like I know you're not, a regular person, but then he'll tweet out something to be like, look at me, I'm just like you, sort of thing.
Sounds like all the people that were present for the Oscars this past weekend.
Oh God.
I didn't even realize that was on this weekend.
I know. I didn't either. Here's the thing. All right. We'll remind me, we got to get back to Elon Musk, but the Oscar, the ratings on Sunday plummeted to an all-time low, and everyone is saying it was the worst show, which is crazy because everyone involved are people that are used to making good shit. So how did all these people get together and make the worst piece of crap that they could ever have?
But it's an industry award show. It already doesn't involve us, so I don't ever understand why they televised it in the first place.
No, yeah, I see what you mean, Tifo. But I think people just like to usually see like the parade and the funness of it, and then like there used to be music involved. There's no music this time.
No,
it was very sterile. It was like, I don't know. It was so uncomfortable.
Dude, you're 100% right, Ashley. Everyone's like, it was embarrassed by. Go ahead, D.
Look, first they demanded more diversity, right? So as you saw, there were more minority representation in the Oscars. And everybody's tiptoeing around how not to offend anyone.
Yes, that's exactly how I felt. Like the minority representation was great, but it did feel not genuine. It felt like, it felt like, were we awarding the movies and songs that we thought were really the best, or were we just giving the awards out to the minorities because they just felt like they should? That's kind of how it felt.
This sounded super white.
Well, I know. It doesn't matter. Whatever I say is going to sound, I'll sound racist or sexist or
very white.
Whatever.
Anybody who wants Ashley's home address, DM me. I'll shoot it over to you.
No, but I mean, I don't feel like, obviously, when Tyler Perry went up on stage and gave his speech, it was the most accurate and representative, I think, of how a majority of people think. You don't want to blanket hate anyone. Like, let's all love. Let's get back to the love part. It didn't feel.
I'm gonna jump on Ashley's white bus real quick. And talk about Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick, everyone's all up in arms.
That was the worst rope-a-dope ever. Oh shit!
What?
Like, you couldn't have gone any farther whiter.
I know.
An old white guy from Britain. Who has been knighted by the oldest white woman in history, the Queen of England, and it's between him, and and this guy who died quietly of pancreatic cancer because he really needed to fucking just commit to his art. He had swept every award up until then, and they were like, well, this is what makes shows so great. It's when you think something's going to happen, and then we give it to Anthony Hopkins.
Well, it was like it's the Hillary Clinton move. It's like finally a woman is going to be president, and it's going to happen. There's no doubt about it, and blah blah blah. It's like we're not quite ready yet.
Yeah, right.
Academy Awards not quite ready to give Best Actor to a black dude. Not quite yet. We'll give you all the other awards. But
so close, Chadwick. So close. Oh,
and Chadwick's like, I know but it's a trick I can only do once. It's like, this is my moment. I don't. There's no backup. There's no backup movie in the pipeline. This was it. It's all I got.
Like Jesus looked at Chadwick and was like, "You owe me $20."
So Chadwick. So here's where I jump on the white bus with Ashley though. Everyone's saying like he's one of the greatest actors that ever lived, and he's a legend, and he's just that. Bro, you've had one movie. Like, I don't understand.
No, he didn't have one movie. He had more than one movie. Stop. He had one movie you saw.
2, 3.
Like legit.
Legend,
Come on. Honestly,
Legend.
He did that while battling cancer.
I understand.
You don't.
He's a strong gentleman. He's amazing.
No, he's not strong. He was physically weak. He was strong in will. And he willed himself to do those scenes, to make those performances. He committed himself to those productions that lasted not days, not weeks, but months, sometimes a year. And
I know, but
and I hate being Fox News. I get it. You know, I hate being just taking the other side to be an asshole. And I swear to God, that's not how I roll. But it's just like that was a legendary performance, and what he did was legendary. But that doesn't make him a legend. Like, he doesn't have we're giving legend to, like, his resume is not just not
a legendary. And so if you just take race out of it, then you're gonna say that Chadwick Boseman deserves a legendary award over one of the greatest actors of our time.
If we take first Oscars are built on what you did that year. It's not based upon who you are.
Well, not a legendary award. And that's like your whole
Oscars
career.
are not based on your whole career. Your Oscars are based on like one role, one movie. And if that's how it is, and saying that, had Chadwick Boseman been white, this wouldn't have been a conversation. He would have had the award.
Well, I guess I misspoke or misrepresented. I'm not even speaking about the one movie. I'm just talking about his career, like when he passed away, his career, like they're calling him legendary and this and that. I just think that's a too big a label for, and I'm not even talking about that.
I mean, okay, but be honest, Andrew. You're at the Academy Awards, and you're talking about an actor who died tragically too young, who is wildly popular and a very good actor.
Agreed.
What else are you gonna say about him? Chadwick Boseman, that guy was all right.
I'm talking about more Facebook. I'm talking about more Facebook. Oh my God, he was a legend, and I can't believe it's just that I don't know. I'm sounding Fox News. I didn't want to do that, so I just was let it go.
Well, that's not fair. See, this is what really upsets me, and I don't know. Maybe you guys don't take it as seriously as I do, because I just think it's not fair to not be able to have these conversations and give an opinion of what you truly think. Like, if you really think Anthony Hopkins deserved that award, like you think that he's a wonderful actor, but then you're a racist if you think Chadwick did it. He was robbed.
What movie was he up for?
But real quick, I don't want to talk about the one award. I don't think, because I didn't see either movie, so I don't know. But I want to talk over. I think Anthony Hopkins, career-wise, is more of a legend than Chadwick Boseman would ever be. I mean, that's just
that's
he's
not.
Just been
doing
it for so long.
It's not a fair comparison because his breadth of work is so much deeper. If you were to say Anthony Hopkins at the point of his career where Chadwick Boseman died, and we compared those two segments, then that would be a fair comparison. But to compare Anthony Hopkins' body of work and say, well, Chadwick Boseman doesn't have as much, Well, he may have had he not died of cancer.
But you can't do that, D, because, okay, Shirley Temple. So Shirley Temple would be the greatest actress of our lifetime because her career spans 4 till 9. So if you put everyone else for 4 to 9 years old, she is the greatest actress.
No,
they did between 4 and 9.
That's not what I'm saying, Andrew. What I am saying is take the time, not the age. If you look at the time, and frankly, Shirley Temple's body of work, if you look, because she has a lot of it, doesn't make her great, but it does give you more to pull from, and it still doesn't make her great. Yeah. But I'm saying Anthony Hopkins has done a lot of great work, but he has done a lot of movies. So I have a lot more material to pull from to say, look at the amazing actor that he is. I also have a ton of movies that he did that were really bad, but I have enough material to go, he's got great material here. Now, in the breadth of that, to look at Chadwick Boseman's work, I can say out of the 4 or 5 movies that he's done, you can literally look and go, wow, all of it is good. So I can say that this man was a great actor before he was taken.
I agree with everything you just said. Everything. By the way, Ryan Seacrest has now said that ahead of the award season that he is leaving the red carpet stuff. He says he did it for 14 years. So basically, you killed Joan Rivers, and then you just decide to step away.
Ryan Seacrest is Andrew's arch nemesis.
All he did was put Joanne Rivers out of her misery. Like half her body was fake already.
Joanne? Good old Joanne Rivers.
That's what her telemarketers call her. Joanne Rivers.
Joan Rivers, Joanne Rivers, whatever. Joanne Rivers.
You talk about legends. Joan Rivers was a legend, and then E just tossed her aside for Ryan fucking Seacrest.
I'm sorry. I forgot that Ryan Seacrest did red carpet stuff. Like, did anybody, did you see him on the red carpet at all?
Yes.
Really?
He look, do E stuff all the time.
This is why I hate he killed Joan Rivers. He killed Regis Philbin. He killed Dick
set
Clark.
Up Michael Strahan.
Yeah, he set up Michael Strahan. He killed Dick Clark. The dude is a fucking asshole. He's a stone cold murderer, and no one will call him out. I'm the only one.
Andrew, oh my goodness!
You're talking about people that were ancient anyway, and it was a miracle they were still in the industry active. And then all of a sudden, here comes this younger guy that everybody likes. Of course, he was going to replace him.
That's this vanilla piece of crap. I'm telling you, dude. He's just.
I think. Why do you? I mean, I think he's great. Jealousy. I feel like. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you, Andrew. No, if you had the look, not being mean, but if you had like the Ryan Seacrest look, you could have done the same thing. You're like up on his level of good at that.
Wow.
Like a good conversationalist and good host.
I would be very offended if somebody called me that vanilla, Andrew. You should be raging against that faux ass compliment she just gave you.
But Ashley's also very vanilla, so Ashley's complimenting him.
Yeah.
I do not think I'm vanilla, but thanks for the maybe compliment.
All right. Let's take a break. This portion of the show brought to you by Teebs of Adrian, Teebs.green. Teebs. If you need to, by the way, I think Gina, you're going there tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Gina's gonna make an appearance up there tomorrow. We should just open a tea. Well, we can't because it's in Ohio. Or open a little Teeb spot here. So we're going back and forth so often. Taking it. It's only a 30-minute trip. It's really nice. And there's the metal family that's just waving at you the whole time as you drive on that country road.
That creepy ass house with the mannequins.
Yes,
it's so weird.
You have to take a picture of these things.
They dress them up. I think correlating to that. Even Georgia says that family is creepy.
The first time I went up there, we drove by it, and I'm like, "That's not creepy at all." Like, there's definitely not bodies in that basement.
Are you sure they're mannequins and not actual people?
They might be.
I don't know, dude. It could be. Anyway, so go see. Natasha says she doesn't want to go by that family. That's why she buys from her cousin's sister's uncle. Go to Teams of Adrian, Teams.green. DMX Lawn and Landscaping. It's time. I'm looking at my lawn right now. It needs to be mowed. I got to call DMX. They're family owned. They do a great job, and they've been in business for 7 years. And it's the dad and his son, and they travel near and far and to and fro and mow your lawn. So check them out. DMX Lawn and Landscaping in Swanton. If you need, if you're looking for a lawn care service, they would be glad to help you. All right, I got a shitload of stuff to talk about. First off, Central Hot Dog on the east side. I love Central
Greasy Spoon. Call it what it is. It's called Greasy Spoon. Dude.
Yes. They I guess that just was in the news. They had when the health department visited them, which I'm sure is their worst nightmare.
Finally.
And they had 10 violations, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, 10 violations!" I'm like, "That's all?"
Well, so here's one thing that people don't. They just see the number, but were they critical? Because 10 violations could be something as simple as a towel sitting next to the sink. That could be a violation.
Some of these things that they get dinged for, whenever you actually look at the reports, and I'm like, I do that in my own kitchen sometimes. I don't. What's the difference?
Gina, I don't even know how to get into it, but it's what I hate about news is they know that if they throw some restaurants on blast, they're going to get clicks or they're going to get views. And so that's why they start this restaurant report card thing, and they report on them, and they don't even put into perspective. Like you said, oh, it was a towel here. They just look at it's a numbers thing. 5 violations, 10 and it's just a way for the media to exploit local establishments. And it sucks. It's bullshit, and I hate it. And I just did it. Like I said,
so how many criticals were there? Because you just did what the news did.
I know it.
You just did the exact same thing.
As I bow my head in shame, you are correct. And to me, the more violations, the more delicious it becomes. So I don't know.
Let's see here. It's a buildup on the coffee machine, presence of gnats and flies, food items with no date marks.
How many critical?
Those are just 3 that I found in the article. I'm looking for the actual health report.
Oh, well, don't do that, Chris. God, don't go digging through government reports. Way to start your morning.
I feel like he starts his morning like that anyway, D.
I mean,
ooh, it's time for new government reports that came out overnight.
You know what? My aunt used to do that back in the day. She used to open up the newspaper and read the police blotter to see like who got arrested and if she knew anybody, and then she would proceed to talk shit about them if she did. She's like, oh, look at the Johnsons got a DUI yesterday. Ooh.
That happened to me one time when I worked at the hospital. Somebody found my name in the blotter, and I was like, for what? Like I almost had a warrant out for my arrest for unpaid parking tickets at BG.
Did you lean into her and go, I would shut the fuck up if I were you, man?
No, I frantically went and paid the bill because I was like, I had no idea. I really did it.
I remember there was this time that we had for a restaurant. We had a restaurant for a year in Northwood, and it's a Cabo Loco, but it was right across the street from waste management building, and it was out in the middle of no fucking where, right? So we ran this thing for a year, and it wasn't going to happen. But we had put flags out front. You know those plastic flags like for a grand opening or whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, Colleen, just how bad for business Northwood wants to be. So Colleen had, I guess you can only have them out there for like 2 weeks or a week or something. So we had them out there too long, and so they wrote us a ticket for having them out there too long, and then issued a warrant for Colleen's arrest, to where she had to go to. To the courthouse to pay the fine, and I think go in front of the judge because she had some fucking flags out for like 15 days instead of 14 or something stupid like that.
Oh,
and
wow.
this place was so in the middle of nowhere. It's like the flags were the only thing that we could do to try to attract business, but they should have warned for her arrest.
So 4 critical, 6 non-critical.
No.
Oh wow.
Okay, so now we have something to talk about because 4 critical it's a little bit concerning.
And just fix them up, clean them up. You learn. I don't think the whole thing is just. I mean, they
just
need
clean as you go. How about that? Just
Clean as you
clean
go.
up after clean as you go.
Thank
You
you.
don't have
I
those
can't-
problems if you clean as you go.
The worst
Yeah,
ever
time
though,
to
and I
leave.
haven't been back since, was how they do the kitchens right in front of you at Central Hot Dog.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
hate dragging any local business at all, but I hate this so bad. So we're sitting there, we order our food, and the cook's back there and he's like cooking, and then he just went and he didn't wipe his face. He went like with his nose like this and then kept cooking the food like all on the back of his hand. And I'm like, do you want to go? And Dubs is like, yeah, let's go.
Did he-
No,
did-
and he was coughing, just hacking, and,
Did he charge
and
you
he
for
was
that
covering
flavoring?
like half-ass, like
Hey,
6 inches from his arm. No,
That's free
This is
flavoring.
this is the one that gives me pause. Observed ventilation hood drip on top of stove at time of inspection.
Do you guys just
good.
feel like when you choose any kind of fast food, like obviously the less you know, the better, but like
Yes.
you know
Rolling that
that
dice.
some random stuff is like happening while they're preparing your food. Like, do
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys
it's-
don't you just like
it's the
expect
weirdest-
it? I feel like
Yeah, but
I
it's-
expect it.
To me, it's the weirdest thing. Like the places you go to where you walk in and you're like, I'm going to get a staph infection. And they have the best food.
Literally an infection from the staff.
Yeah.
That is,
But that's
is
what
how
I'm-
gross this place
STAFF.
is.
That's what I'm talking about, though. I love. To me, the more violations, the more delicious you become. It's just character.
that's not it. It's the more neck tattoos and less tea,
Yes,
the better the food. That
I
is
would-
the rule for kitchen staff.
The food quality goes up the more convictions the kitchen staff has.
I used that line.
Yeah.
No, I used that line at Star Diner in Oregon. I had a meeting there. And I went there, and the waitress did not appreciate that. I'm like, this food is good. You must have a lot of people with neck tattoos back there. She's like, excuse me. I'm like,
You
"Sorry."
said that to
When-
their face.
Were you right though? Were you right?
I don't know. She didn't tell
When
me.
a PO can shut down an entire business just by walking in the back door, you know you got good food.
Absolutely.
That when you can lose your entire staff on a bad piss test, that is when you know that food is the bomb.
Yes. I agree with that 100%.
I do too. All right, I want to buzz through some of the. It's more outrage shit. I don't even know what this is. It's not. Shouldn't even be a thing. Like, look, the left. I love those people, and I love how they fight for justice, and everyone should be the same, and all that stuff. But some of the shit you do have to shake your head, and even though I'm probably
Right.
people call me a lefty, but Justin Bieber is being accused of cultural appropriation, which I don't even know what that is, and they put in parentheses again after he debuted a new hairstyle resembling dreadlocks. So what? It's just if we want to have dreadlocks, who the fuck cares? I don't understand. The cultural appropriation is not even a thing. It shouldn't be a thing.
I mean, he should just be shot for having that hairstyle.
Why? He looks fine. It's what he wants to do. Who cares?
You know what
I mean,
cultural
it just looks like he didn't wash his head for a couple months.
Demetrius,
Do you know what cultural appropriation is? Cultural appropriation is that Dalazal lady. Cultural appropriation is when you walk into a building and you tell people, hey, you know what? I'm black and this is my experience and blah, blah, blah. This is not a hairstyle is not cultural appropriation. If you can do it, do it. But like he can't grow an afro, he can get a perm. It's going to look ridiculous, but if you can grow dreadlocks, that's fine. But don't come at me and tell me that you lived in Harlem for 22 years and you know the struggle. Like that is, who does a cultural appreciation? Wayne Brady. Wayne Brady does cultural. He don't know the struggle. You think Alfonso Ribeiro knows the struggle? Fuck no. He golfs and races Indy cars, for the love of Jesus.
All right, so there's that, and then I got this one. You remember Ellen? And I should write this one. Oh yeah, we were talking about Ellen earlier, but you remember Sophie Grace? The two teens, the British teens that were in the Ellen show, and they were so cute.
The two cute little girls who were like, "Oh my God, we love you, Ellen. Oh my God, we were just sitting
sitting there talking to the chimney sweeps yesterday about how much we loved you some Ellen. And then one of them said, "You gonna go over there?" And I said, "No, I got to go watch my weather vane."
Yes, exactly. So
It's actually one of his better ones, Gina.
That was really good. I thought it was, especially on demand. So anyway, Sophie Grace is now post a picture. She is 18 fucking years old now. These two little girls that were on Ellen are now 18 years old. And the crazy thing about it is it's not even that like it doesn't make me feel old. It just you realize how fast time flies. I mean,
why is this a story?
Because everyone watched. Dude, she's got over 1 million people on Instagram. She was huge at Ellen. She was like, whenever Sophie Grace was going to be on, you knew you were going to tune in because it was going to be funny, and everyone knew who Sophie Grace was. And now she's 18 years old. That's how fast time goes. Just because you can't appreciate it, Chris. I don't know what to say. I can't leave.
I've never heard of her until this moment.
All right. Well, I can only lead you to the horse. I can't make you drink it. All right. Anyway, back to Elon Musk real quick. Musk says, he's working on this mission to Mars, and everyone signed up to be part of it, part of this mission. Everyone wants to go to Mars. Actually, it's got to be terrifying for you, I'm assuming. But to be
she's cool with the space shuttle. She's cool with the space shuttle. It's the airplanes that give her pause.
Yeah. So
no. Even space shuttle is even worse than airplane, but.
I think if we looked back at the list of people that are like waiting to take this mission, all these volunteers, that list may have shrunk a little bit.
Actually, it's way down here.
Yeah, Elon Musk has now admitted a bunch of people will probably die in the early missions.
I don't know, but there's someone out there that wants to do it. People literally jump out of an airplane all the time, so it's like.
Oh, I'm sure the list.
Someone will be willing.
The list was long, but now you're like, a lot of people are going to die. What are you going to do?
Man, you know what? And that's the thing. Like, you do it in a plane, like plane breaks up. You could possibly survive if you hit enough trees and then maybe land on a bear. But if the space shuttle breaks up, now you're like, ah. There's no falling. You're like,
I'm just here. Is my face going to get sucked in from no oxygen? Am I going to?
No.
I would hope I would die of a heart attack before I would be able to even know what in the hell is going on.
Like there's no EMTs. There's nothing. That's just done. You might as well just be in a sub. That's what a sub is. It's just a space shuttle underground.
Oh, yeah. Submarines too.
Water.
No.
Hey, Cohen, I got presents for you. Tell your dad to come get your presents. I got presents for you.
He says he has presents for you. I have to come get them.
We don't have cats.
We don't have cats. Exactly. Yes.
He's drunk.
My dad just called me drunk.
So Cohen, I got presents for you.
Did you bring your teeth supply there, Demetrius?
We don't have cats.
Why the cats thing?
I think Cohen is in your stash.
What? I don't understand where the cats thing came from.
Neither do I. Sometimes you can say things to him, and then like his response will be the most random things, like bricks, blocks, grass, Monroe, and you're like, oh, okay.
It makes sense to him. I want to know what it means, though.
I know, buddy.
No, we don't. No, you don't, Ashley.
I do.
You really don't. All right, Lufka All Natural. Lufka. Oh, we were talking about shaved cats last time, apparently, and he just picked it back up.
Aww.
That's a memory, like a steel trap.
I know. Look at that, Demetrius. Yeah, the kid has got it.
You know what though? Here's the bitch of it though. It's like he remembers things, but his timeline's all messed up. Like he will talk about stuff and make it seem like it happened yesterday, and then you're like, well, what the shit? And then he's like, and then you're like, wait a minute, that happened like 2 years ago, and then he'll be just as pissed off as it was the first time.
There was an incident where one of our kids was telling a story, and then when they walked out, Colleen said, that happened to her friend. Like, And then I'm thinking, there's time. Then it made me think. There are times where things have happened. I have to remember. Did it happen to me? Did I watch it on TV, or did it happen to a friend? That's how fucked up.
Or
my
a
head
dream.
is. So I'm not the only one then. I thought I was just.
Oh, you are
No,
the
or
only
like-
one.
Did
Did
it,
it-
no,
did
I
it-
go. No,
Did
I
it?
do it.
Do I remember it, or did somebody tell me?
Yeah.
And that's why, like when I was little, like my mom and dad tell me stories. So I'm like, from when I was little, like, do I actually remember that memory from when we were little, or do I remember my parents telling me about the story?
Yes.
I'd love to have a parent that could tell a story like that. Oh my God. A story that was so good that I didn't remember whether or not it was told to me or I lived it.
Or I just did a lot of drugs in my 20s and my brain's just Swiss cheese. Like,
Can you imagine what Steven Spielberg's kids are like, or like George Lucas's kids? They all think they're Jedis and shit,
right? Because they would go to work with him, and they think
are
they're on
Jedis.
Yeah, they're on planet whatever, and they're playing with lightsabers and shit. Dude, this would be amazing.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know if I'm a Jedi or if it was just take your kids to work day.
Yeah, I know. Marcia says, "Oh wait, Andrew has friends. Oh, you're a little funny, Marcia. Oh. And then Sasha says that's old age people when you can't tell if it's your memory or something someone's told you.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I think I've taken shit from television and thought that like years later that it happened to me, and I'm like, wait,
that happened or was it a movie?
I know. Yes.
You're like, you're listening to the story and you're like, fuck, and I was driving like 20 miles an hour down the highway in a white Bronco, and I had my friend with me, AC, and AC was just, and you're like, bitch, that happened to OJ. What the fuck? What are you?
So then I got
just
back on
killed
the
two
plane and he
people.
blew himself up to save the earth. It was amazing.
I know. I jumped out of the skyscraper after I killed a bunch of German terrorists, and you're like, bitch, that's Bruce Willis, dude. That's
This is not the first time you've tried to compare your life to that of Bruce Willis.
Lufka, all natural. Lufka is a really cool place. We have to take a road trip, you guys. I'm telling you, Ashley and Jeannie
a road trip?
love it.
It's not a road trip when it's in Perrysburg. It's not a road trip.
You don't know. It depends. It depends on your mode of transportation.
Yes,
if you're walking,
true.
that's a road trip.
Horse and
If
buggy. Horse and buggy would be a road trip.
Car, maybe it's just a little jaunt. But if you're Amish, you've planned this.
Yes, I agree. Lufka, all natural on South Boundary Street in Perrysburg. And don't forget, of course, lawn greetings. Say it in a lawn greeting. Hey, don't tell Colleen. Don't tell Colleen. But I ordered the Happy Mother's Day lawn greeting for her.
Aw.
For Mother's Day.
He says on the show that's broadcast live on Facebook
That she's probably
And
listening
she
to.
listens to.
I know. I hope she's not. I hope. But yeah. So they're gonna they set it up. Happy Mother's Day in the lawn, and it sits there for all Mother's Day, and then they come and get it. The lawn garden ninjas come and get it after nighttime, and then take it away. So, and it's $20, dude. $20? Are you kidding? For
any greeting?
Can I do like mean greetings? Can I just like roast people? Can I be like, good morning, fat fuck, and just have that put on your lawn?
No.
And so then you
that's
wake up in the
probably not
morning and
gonna
you
be
just
it.
have a big sign that's like, and you wake up to that.
That's what another reason for Perrysburg to hate me. No, I'm good on that.
That's the sort of thing my brother and I used to do with the light bright in our bedroom. Just leave insults to each other.
But that is something that I think maybe landlords could pick up on, and they could just start dropping it. You're late on your rent, lawn sign. You can't say you didn't read that, bitch. It was in your lawn
for 24 hours. Wonder if the court would start making that just official. Yeah. I mean, hey,
congrats, you're the dad. Signed Lucas County Court.
Taxes due.
Exactly. They should start working with lawn greetings of Toledo.
Oh, I want to mess with people. I want to put like just like random houses and just put like I want a divorce.
Or what if you put someone that's doesn't have kids, or it's a boy like the one we just saw.
Or like
the husband comes home, he's like, what the fuck? It's a boy. What do you mean?
Or like, just why'd you stop texting me? And then
Why'd you block me on Facebook?
You can't ghost me. Oh, that'd be another one. Blocked. This is when you block somebody, you send a laundry that just says blocked on it. Man, we could have so much fun with this.
What if you put it? What if you get your license is suspended? Put it in the lawn.
or just like 2 or 4 little dots to make it seem like there's a message coming.
Yeah, Demetrius, after you said that it'd be funny to just send a picture of the ... Andrew kept doing it, but he's really bad at screenshotting and shit. So it looked like a picture of the ... It wasn't like, and he just kept sending it to me, and I had to tell him, like, bro, if you send that one more time, I'm blocking you.
Because in my head, it's fooling her, and I'm laughing my ass off in my head every time I send it. Like, I send a picture of the ... so she thinks the message is coming, but really it's just a picture. And
it was an awful picture at that, and it was just so. And I'm like, dude, it's not funny. Stop laughing, because I just pictured him cracking up laughing, sending that picture over and over.
Yeah. I'm a genius.
Yes. All right. Now it's time for the WTF News with Ebenezer Bushrock. Go ahead, Ebenezer.
I'm signing out. Bye, guys.
All right,
ouch.
Bye. I know she doesn't. Dude, every time she start, dude, she's out. She is out of sauerkraut.
Well, kind of on the same vein of what you guys were talking about with the lawn greetings on there. Kanaka Onishi of Nara City, Japan, was arrested last year. No, Japan was Japanistan. Japanistan was arrested last year for stalking. So her response to being arrested for stalking
Stop. Are you saying stalking? Fuck are you
stalking?
doing?
I'm doing my
She was arrested for stalking.
I let the first one go, and then he did stalking again.
Yep. Anyway, she was arrested.
What'd she do? She break into a grocery store and just start putting cans on the shelves.
Anyway, so her response to being arrested for stalking,
thank you,
was to then begin stalking the police officer that arrested her. So for the past year, she has been stalking the police officer, and was recently arrested again for violating a court order, the stalker control law, in a court order, by sending him a letter professing her love to him and wanting to join his family on this. So yeah, so they're just as crazy in Japan as they are here. So enjoy that one.
Yes.
Now bringing it back home for a quick second, a Florida nurse was charged with third-degree grand theft, and her name was something Aguero, and she had to show up to a court hearing through Zoom, because of COVID, and while they were in the Zoom waiting room with the other people waiting for the judge to join them, she broadcasted giving someone butt injections, because that's apparently her job. So there's a reporter that was on the call to cover the case, who took a screenshot of the defendant giving butt injections to an unknown male on there. So basically, just be careful. You're doing Zoom calls; they can see literally everything you're doing.
Wow.
On there.
Karen,
And this is
Karen, what are you doing down there? Did you see the CNN guy, Jeffrey Toobin, during the pandemic, who's their legal analyst, and he had his camera on and it was down too low, and he was pleasuring himself he thought his camera was off rather, and the camera was on, and he was pleasuring himself during the meeting. Everyone saw, so they had to. He's been suspended ever since. It's been like 6 months. They're like, yeah.
I like how his defense was, I didn't know the camera was on, not I wasn't doing what you thought I was doing.
Right, I was doing it, but I didn't want you to see me.
First of all, how awesome are those Zoom meetings?
Well, look at Ashley. Get your hands up.
What?
Thank you. Okay, all right.
He's got a napkin in one.
What? He's got a napkin.
Oh my God. That's for my runny nose, you freaks.
Hey, I don't care what you're calling it, sister.
My runny nose.
So, police have found themselves the subject of a lot of anger and frustration lately, a lot of calls for reform and everything. And apparently 4 DC Metropolitan Police officers decided, you know what? We need to let off a little bit of steam. And they decided to drag race in the Kenilworth neighborhood of DC with their squad cars, damaging 2 of them and sending all 4 of them to the hospital for minor injuries. All 4 are currently suspended, pending the investigation. MPD is currently investigating an incident in which 2 MPD vehicles were involved in a traffic accident at the 1400 block of Anacostia. It appears that the members may have been racing their vehicles, resulting in an accident. 4 6th District MPD members have been taken to area hospitals, according to the MPD spokesperson.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I would much rather you drag race down the street than, profile an innocent citizen.
Well, they
were just letting off a little bit of steam. They have a lot of pressure lately, a lot of anger, a lot of things going on, especially in DC. Right. So they were just trying to just let off a little steam, have a little bit of fun, and
when you got to stop killing black people cold turkey, it's hard.
Stop.
Hard.
Stop.
Hard. You're irritable. You put on weight. It's like when you quit smoking. You're just so used to it. Then you got to find something else to do with your hand.
All right, is that it? We got one more. What are you doing?
We got one more. So apparently, recently, pop star idol training shows have taken China by storm. One such show is called Produce Camp 2021, and basically it takes hundreds of hopefuls, signs them to a contract. They have to go through the show. They either get voted off or they get voted to stay. It's kind of like American Idol, but with Asian pop stars. And if they win, they are obligated. If they're one of the 11 that win, they're obligated to form a boy band, a pop idol boy band, and then start touring under their contract with the record company. If they're voted off, obviously their contract is ended. Well, a Russian man, Mr. Vladislav Ivanov from Vladivostok, who speaks fluent Mandarin, was hired on to be a Chinese teacher on there. But then they noticed his good looks and his talent, and they asked him to be part of the show, to be a contestant. And he immediately regretted signing on the dotted line. Throughout the entire time, he begged people to vote him off. Get me out of here. And he also gave lackluster performances and half-hearted dances and everything, trying to get people to get him to vote it off. He made it to the last show on Saturday,
of course,
because he struck a chord with the Chinese people.
Americans did the same thing. Remember Sanjaya on American Idol? We just kept voting. It was like, what the fuck, Sanjaya? What are you doing?
They dubbed him the most miserable wage slave. And they celebrated him as an icon of what's called Sang culture in China, which is basically millennials referring to a defeatist attitude in everyday life. So he became sort of an anti-hero for the Chinese millennials.
Hey, I was reading this morning, The Voice, they're celebrating 10 years. But they have never truly, hold on, let me read the headline. They have never produced a truly successful artist in 10 years. That's why I stopped watching these reality shows. I stopped a long time after Crystal Bauer Socks, because I realized that you like, I used to watch dancing. What's the dancing show? Not Dancing with the Stars, but the one, So You Think You Can Dance.
So
I
you
used to
think
watch
you
that.
can dance.
And then you pour all your heart in for 3 months, and then never see these people again. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not investing 3 months in these people to never see them again. And The Voice, you guys still watch it, but there's just because they win, it means nothing.
And on Saturday, when he finally got voted away, Mr. Ivanov is quoted as saying, "Finally, I'm off of work."
Wow, there you go. All right, that is Ebenezer Bushrod, WTF News. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Demetrius, Chris Tiefel, Gina, Georgia. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Come on!